Hello everybody, this is Adrian for WapCar.my and I'm all about the details. All eyes was on Proton in 2020 for their X50, Proton's first compact SUV. Every article or video anybody shared about the X50 is bound to go viral. That's just how hot the car is. But this year, in 2021, there's one car that may potentially match, if not surpass, the limelight of the X50. And that is a car from arch rival Perodua with their D55L SUV. Here's everything that you need to know about Perodua's upcoming SUV, the D55L. Download the official WapCar app on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store now. Perodua's upcoming SUV actually does not have a name yet. D55L is actually the company's internal code name for the SUV. It's based off the Toyota Raize and Daihatsu Rocky, which are both available in Japan, and it's an SUV that's meant for the masses, which means guaranteed affordability and reliability. Now, on paper, the D55L is a direct competitor to the Proton X50 and Honda HR-V, but it's actually a little bit more complex than that. I've done an in-depth analysis on why the D55L is not a direct competitor to the X50, so make sure you click on the pop-up banner to watch it. You see, dimensions-wise, the D55L is actually smaller than the X50 and HR-V. You can imagine it to be a jacked-up Myvi and you won't be too far off. But I don't think being small here is a disadvantage, because a small car with tall ride height is a formula that consumers can never get enough of. I'll dive straight into the biggest question on everyone's mind. When will it be launching and how much would it cost? Now, the latest update is that Perodua is expecting to launch the D55L sometime around in March 2021, but this is already the delayed or postponed timeline due to the global pandemic of COVID-19 as well as all the MCOs that happened in between, which pushed back all the efforts in launching a new model from the R&D, testing, production, training, and all that kind of stuff. Now, it's almost certain that the D55L will be locally assembled at Perodua's plant in Rawang, so that we know that it won't be ridiculously priced like the Perodua Nautica in 2008. And you know, Perodua understands that to capture the hearts of Malaysian buyers, they have to be harga mesra rakyat. As for price, given Perodua's current product hierarchy, starting from the Axia, Beza, Myvi, Alza, Arus, we expect that the D55L to be priced and positioned in between the Myvi and Arus, given the product nature of the D55L, which is a 5-seater SUV with high-tech features. It's most likely that the D55L will be offered in multiple variants, and don't be surprised if the price point of the D55L overlaps with other Perodua models, in the sense that, for example, the range-topping Myvi is priced similarly to the entry-level version of the D55L. Now, this is nothing new in the industry because Proton is also doing the same thing with their X50. So what features can we expect of the D55L? Well, for starters, the engine is quite a highlight. In Japan, the Raize and Rocky duo are powered by a 1-litre 3-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine paired to a CVT automatic. It pushes 98 horsepower and 140 Nm of torque. Now, that's more torque than the Myvi's 1.5-litre engine. The D55L is also going to be a zippier car to drive because maximum torque kicks in at 2,400 RPM versus the Myvi 1.5's 4,200 RPM. In Japan, the Raize and Rocky, there are two versions to it, front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, but it is almost certain that the Malaysian market will only be getting the front-wheel drive version. If you have qualms about the D55L 1-litre, whether it can go up Genting, Cool Racing Japan has done a drag race with the Toyota Raize against other Toyota models, and they fitted their Raize with 19-inch alloys, and well, to our surprise, the little Raize managed to keep up with the Toyota Alphard in a drag race. It is also mighty fuel efficient. Based on the WLTP test cycle, the Toyota Raize returned 5.37 litres per 100 km, which translates to 18.6 kilometers per litre. Now, you take that and multiply by the fuel tank capacity of the Raize, which is 36 litres. In theory, the D55L can go up to 670 kilometers on one full tank of fuel, and we expect that the real world consumption will be quite close because it's based on the WLTP test cycle. Other notable features in the Raize and Rocky include a 7-inch digital instrument cluster, a 9-inch floating touchscreen infotainment system that supports both Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, keyless entry and start, as well as a 360-degree camera. Now, all the fancy features, they're all nice to have, but are possible. However, I sincerely hope that Perodua would consider offering Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity in the D55L, because with this feature, they will definitely one-up 100% the Proton X50 in terms of connectivity. Safety is where it gets interesting. In Japan, the Raize and Rocky have the option for autonomous emergency braking, forward collision warning, pedal misoperation control, and adaptive cruise control. Now, it won't be too difficult for Perodua to include their suite of ASA 2.0 into the D55L, but if they manage to squeeze in adaptive cruise control, that would be a game changer. Because currently in the Malaysian market, the cheapest car with adaptive cruise control would be the Proton X50 flagship variant, which retails at 103,000 ringgit. If Perodua can offer adaptive cruise control for a car below 100,000 ringgit, win liao. Last but not least, Practicality. Now, I've seen the car in person at the 2019 Tokyo International Motor Show at Daihatsu's booth. During that time, it was still an mysterious, unknown SUV. But I managed to touch and feel the car, so I get a good impression of the car's practicality. Now, I have to say that the D55L would be a very suitable and practical, spacious enough SUV for a small family, because rear leg room is decent, headroom is sufficient, and the boot space of 369 liters is bigger than the X50's 330 liters. So, small families would definitely have a much more practical, usable boot space. Next up is, don't expect that the D55L to be draped in luxurious materials such as a leather-wrapped dashboard, soft touch materials left, right, center, because it is not. It is in SUV position to be a more budget-conscious crowd. So the materials used in the cabin, it's closer to the Myvi than it is to a X50 and HRV. So you get hard plastics all around, but it's as expected of cars at this price point. The D55L is a very exciting car, and it's understandable why people get so excited over it. It's a compact SUV with advanced features from Perodua with what we're expecting, not a very big price tag. And it's a car that speaks to the hearts and wallets of the masses, which is what Perodua cars are known for. There are, however, a few challenges for Perodua with the introduction of the D55L, because it will be their first production car to adopt a turbocharged engine as well as a CVT automatic. So their communication and educating their customers to adopt a new generation of powertrains, as well as their readiness in after sales as well as parts availability, may become a challenge, because Perodua cars have always been known to be relatively simple, straightforward, easy, and relatively cheap to maintain cars. So hopefully the same philosophy gets translated into the D55L as well. One area that Perodua could learn from the launch of the Proton X50 is managing their stock levels as well as delivery wait times. Because the X50, the demand is just sky high, and the production is just unable to meet the demands of customers and interested parties who want to buy the X50. So with the D55L, hopefully Perodua are able to manage their stock levels as well as production capacity to meet the, well, definitely monumental demand for the D55L, and not to have customers wait a ridiculously long time to get their cars. So there you have it, everything that you need to know about the Perodua D55L. Let me know in the comment section below whether are you excited for Perodua's upcoming SUV, and whether would you take it over the X50. As always, thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos like this. Download the official WapCar app on Apple App Store and Google Play Store for all your latest reviews, news, and comparisons to help you find your next perfect car.